Pat, what was the scene like here that morning in early April 1847 when Pat Kaveney and his wife Sarah and their children left for the last time?
Well, it must be a very sad scene to take up and move away with man and wife and 6 children to go off and probably not even own a donkey, because they wouldn't have, no people owned nothing of the good at the time. The only one that owned a horse was the landlord or the agent. And to get up and move, and they could have gone, as I said, to Ballymote this way, 4 mile this way, to go that way to Sligo. They could go out the road here and go down this other way, which in my opinion is the nearest way to Sligo from here. But they'd have known Ballymote, probably that was the way they'd have gone for. But then you can imagine all the neighbours and the cries and all the evening before and saying goodbye and all that, knowing they wouldn't be maybe never seen again, which some of them was never seen again. But must have been a fierce sad sight and sad timed, because the neighbours was just all destitute as well. And then like to take the fire from the fireplace and bring it to a neighbour's house, usually in a bucket or whatever they had, and they leave it there in the neighbour's house to keep the fire burning so that they could rekindle from it at some other time when they would return. It would be about, I'd say about 18 mile, maybe 18 to 20 mile. And I'd say in around that to Sligo. Depends on which way you went, you know what I'm saying. That time or two there'd be paths more than roads. But no matter which way you went, it was 18 to 20 mile anyway.
And they made that journey walking?
They'd have made that journey walking and probably barefooted. And remember they had to bring whatever bits of belongings they had with them for the journey as well. So unless they had someone that took them from them and went with them and came back again, it was a very hard thing to do.
And it was a hard journey for small children?
A hard journey for small children, and to have food to keep them on their journey and all that. That was a big thing. There was from this house they left 8 people. The mother and father, Pat and Sarah and Martin, and we know one of the other daughter was named Catherine, but I don't know the names of the rest of them.
So 5 small girls.
Five small girls, and the 5 girls that didn't make it to shore, you know, the far side. That was.
They never saw Canada.
They never saw Canada.
What time of the morning would you have to leave to get to Sligo for a boat?
They may have gone the evening before and hope for shelter. Well, they'd probably shelter along the way somewhere, but that's probably how it was done. In terms of time walking, like with small children, they wouldn't have been able to walk. It could take maybe 12 hours, maybe more.
It could,
you know, maybe more, maybe longer. You know, it depends on how they're walking. And they wouldn't be well fed. They wouldn't have the nourishment to walk at a fast pace or, you know, keep going like that. They'd be just poor creatures. Well, the only thing I can come up with that he wanted the land for somebody else, and the fact that the house remained. Well, the house was, of course, it was a good house, but if he wanted for some, I can't understand. Then, if he wanted for someone else, the Kaveneys moved back into the house. Brothers of his or sisters of his, brothers of his actually moved back into the house afterwards. So we don't know how that came about.
How much later?
No, we don't know much later. But they were here. They were here in the 1860s, and the 1850s, the late 1850s. The Kaveneys was living here again. So I don't know, like what.
So
he may have had intended putting someone in it and might not have got someone to go to it.
So whatever grand plan Palmerston's agents had for this land really didn't come to pass?
No, didn't come to pass. Maybe he intended to shift them all from it. Or then again, maybe Pat Kaveney might have been causing some trouble. There could have been reasons we don't know about.
And he was given very little notice.
You only get a week to 10 days. That was all they got that time. That time the agent would come and tell them that when they were going, tell them the time of the ship, the time of the boat and all that. And that for a lot of poor creatures to arrive at the quays, the boat always didn't come and go on time either. It might say it was sailing as such, and mightn't sail for 2 days after that. So that left them 2 days less without provisions.
And Pat, have we any idea what news was brought back from Canada, or at what point the people here at home knew that the boat went down?
Well, no one knew anything about the what became of the Kaveneys until a few years ago.
160 years afterwards.
160 years afterwards, when the people traced their ways back. But we knew they had gone to Canada, We knew that about them, that some of the Kaveneys had gone to Canada, but we never knew what became of them. We just knew that they were gone, and that was it. We didn't know what was nothing ever, unless someone had got a letter that someone had got some message that was never told or never. But we never definitely knew. No one else ever knew.
And no reference to the name of the boat, the Carricks of Whitehaven? Or
No. We've heard of the Carricks, but we never knew nothing about it. Never knew nothing about it.